Hey, what is going on, MLB family? If you do not know who I am, happen to be seeing this for the first time, my name is CC. I've been playing MLB The Show and putting YouTube videos out since MLB 17. I played it a little before, but I don't really remember what year, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I've also been creating content on these games since Madden 15. I've been playing games since 2013 on these modes, so this is my perspective of what's been going on with Sony San Diego Studios and some of the changes that they've made. If you, like me, have been watching this is not surprising at all, right? There's a lot of blame that's being placed around the community. I don't really care about the blame. The changes happened. This was because someone suggested it. I don't really care. Is it because they made their own decision? I don't really care. But this is to go over the changes and the processes that have happened and why you shouldn't be surprised at all with what has gone on. And hopefully, again, we need to give them some benefit of the doubt because they've done a decent job to maybe I think they overcorrected some of the problems here. Again, and when you do something a little too drastic, you feel it, but you should have been ready for it in the past. Let's take a look here, boys. Couple things we want to start out with here. One, this isn't a bash on anything. Okay, these are just facts, right? These are facts, right? Not trying to paint any person in a negative light or anything else in a more positive light. You just need to know where this is coming from, right? We see this. This is an argument that gets brought up all this time. Oh, it doesn't matter, man. You can just grind out and get a good team. You actually can. You actually can. A lot of people say, look, you can get 99s for free. However, if you are a little bit smarter than that, you will know that not every 99 is the same, right? Not every. It's like saying that I'm 6'2", Steph Curry 6'2", we both should be good at basketball. Well, one of us is probably a little bit better. I know he's probably not 6'2", but whatever, right? Again, the point, right? It's not the same, but it's an argument that people like to use because the top right corner of a card to them determines the goodness of a card, and which is not the case, especially in this game. There's a lot more that actually goes into it, and San Diego Studios knows that. That's why they have put Fernando Tatis, Mickey Mantle, in these really hard to reach places because they know that 99 is a lot better because of he's a switch hitter, he's faster, he fields better, all that sort of stuff, right? There's so many more attributes that go into it. So whenever someone says, oh, it's a free 97, but is it a good 97? Is it a good 99? It's a very, very big difference, okay? So let's get that out of the way here while we go through this. Stop looking at the top right hand of all these things and say, oh, it's good, they gave us this free. Free is good if you can use it. Oh, I can put it in the collection. Okay, that's great. Why is I can put it in the collection, to me, is always a really weird statement because they could easily not give us that card and make the collection 1 less, 2 less, 3 less, 5 less. The collections are a racket. Let's just say that. There's no way around it. Oh, I can get all the cards for free. I can grind. Whatever it is. Collections are still too much. So, how do we know that this change for Battle Royale for World Series was coming? Great question. It started out a couple years ago when you used to be able to collect your cards for collections, right? Normally it's just a live series collection. And you say, you know what? I'm actually never going to use this Deadly Rushman. Let me quick sell it. And you used to be able to. Now you cannot. That was step 1 of their process of trying to take in more stubs for themselves and keep subs out of your pocket so that maybe there's a chance that you spend some money on the game because it is a business. They're trying to make money. We get that. Cool. Next thing. Let's talk about the next thing. Oh, this is even better. This is even better. If you go through all these cards in the past, a diamond, a base diamond, we can use the same guys here, you know. Let's find someone. Matt Chapman. He used to quick sell for 5,000 stubs. Now he's 3,000. Oh no. Right? That's another thing. They tried to make it, oh, we evened all the no. You did it for money and that is fine, by all means. Don't tell me you were doing it for sunshine and rainbows when you're doing it just to crap on us a little bit here, right? So they've changed quick sell values. Again, this is a slow process and arc. And because it was a slow process and arc in the past, it didn't ring super loud to people. Oh, but we made other cards more expensive with quick sell value. They said that was a good, they acted like that was a good thing. Guys, the quick sell value is higher on these cards now. However, the problem with them raising quick sell values is that it actually makes collections more expensive, right? Well, if collections are more expensive, you gotta spend more money. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Their big changes for this year started when it came to Topps Now monthly awards. In the past, these cards were auctionable, sellable, all that sort of stuff. You could do what you wanted with them. If you didn't really want to get the Matt Chapman card, guess what? You could have sold all those Topps Now cards and done that. And then here comes the guy. I hear him walking in. He's saying, but CC, guess what? I need those cards for the collection. You do. That was always the problem. You could either collect the big cards or you could do something else what you want with them, right? Right. In the past, you got to choose. My problem with things is when they take choice away. Now, I don't really have a choice. I can either do it or not do it. Right? But I couldn't do it and sell the card and do it and keep the card. So, like, you've removed an entire layer of decision making from me. For 44 Topps Now cards, again, with the change that came in, I started the game at really, really high overalls. They kind of forced themselves into this situation. Obviously, it is intentional. Because if they were to give quick sell values to these cards, starting at 7,000 stubs, working their way up to 10,000 stubs, you're talking 300 to 400,000 stubs worth of cards from Topps. Now, they don't want you having those stubs. No, they don't. So that's why that was made there. They had two options. One, make everything absolutely no sell, or two, have really low overalls on these cards. They chose the other way. Again, they had to. But when we got to the monthly awards, where you don't even you don't even have to do the Topps Now this year. It's optional. It's optional, right? Because it's optional, these then became non-sellable. Again, removing a decent amount of stubs that you could get from stuff. All right. So they removed stubs here. They removed stubs in Topps Now. Again, there's a reason why. The next thing they went and did, they said, guess what, guys? Events, they're back. Rewind packs, they're back. And they made these non-sellable. Now, I have a much less problem of this being non-sellable than probably any of the other things, because it keeps value on these other cards. Events, not really that hard to get through. But again, we saw that this change was happening. Okay. And then they went ahead and they said, guys, guess what? We're doing the same thing on World Series. And some people had a problem with it. I didn't like it personally, but some people called people soft, and all this is what I heard. Again, I don't really follow a lot of the drama, so if I'm saying the wrong thing, and that's why we're not going to say any names, because I don't really care about the names. The decisions have been made. It's in the past. And then making these packs non-sellable. Okay. I know that the better players, I don't want to call them competitive players, better players. There's a decent amount of people who make World Series. They wanted to be more rewarded for the time for getting to World Series. I actually agree. I think they should be more well rewarded, right? But what I also think is that you can't reward other people less as well, because they made it harder and longer to get through the ranked program with a shorter time span and less rewards. That's three strikes. The way that they designed all of it, bad idea. Give them extra value, fine. I think give them stubs, give them another pack at 1,100. I don't care what they do, right? But what I would like to see is that if you happen to get to this point in time, because I'm not going to get to 900, is to reset these programs here. I think that makes a lot of sense, and it would be a really, really good decision. It would. Same way if they did it for events. You get to the reward, just reset it. What's the problem, right? Because you're giving me now a chance to get 2 of these cards without having to spend my stubs. So stubs are easy to get. Sure. Yeah, they just appear, right? It takes time. 290,000 stubs is the equivalent of $190 in stubs if you had to buy them. Again, that is really expensive. But you can grind for it, whatever. But after that happened, people were then upset that this happened with a no sell flawless program pack. You can't be upset when you knew it was coming, boys. You knew it was coming. Look, I've detailed all this stuff out for you. Right? Now, again, I like that. I like to keep the cards that I earn personally in these situations. Right? I still have my King Griffey Jr. Okay? Still have it. I just think the right thing to do would have the reset here as well. Right? Again, you want to add more value to the guys who are going 12-0. That's fine, but removing so much value here, because this is a massive removal. World Series awards last time, there were 30 or 40,000 stubs. That's pretty cheap. Too cheap, honestly. They probably should have been more like 80. So again, that is what it is. But here, you've changed it. 100,000 stubs minimum. 100,000 stub minimum difference. For like, so if you're not the top 0.01%, they just grabbed it. Again, you can take the stubs. I want the cards necessarily. Some people say, "Oh, I only play to sell the card." Fair, okay. You spend your time how you want to spend your time, right? If you really want to make stubs, just go play these stupid mini seasons. These cards are expensive, okay? If you really want stubs, play a good computer, do that. So all of these changes have been happening. You had to have seen it coming over the years. This is a business. They're trying to make money. Again, I think they overcorrected way too much. And while I don't like that, I think it's actually a very common, natural thing to do, right? Like instead, like if it's like, oh man, you know, like I eat ice cream every day. No ice cream ever. Well, maybe you should just have it once a week. Like you figure out that balance point, and sometimes you got to go all the way to the left or all the way to the right to come back and find the point where balance makes the most sense. I hope that they do that. I feel like they listen well enough to the community when it comes to content. So I hope they do listen a little bit. Now I want to say this to you guys. This is the most important part for each and every one of you. This is coming from someone this is my job. I've been creating content on YouTube and making videos for years, playing these games for years. I used to have a very wrong approach to how I thought about these games. I used to think, this is what I want. This is the way it should be. However, it's always the greater good for the greater number of people is the correct answer. Right? It is. It is. What I may personally want is not always necessarily going to be the best thing. And so I always try to take myself out of those shoes when I make suggestions, when I talk about things, and I try to say things for the common casual player. Now, again, I know this isn't going to reach nearly as many people as it would be for some really, really big creators. But this is coming from someone with a lot of experience in the space who has had conversations with these companies one-on-one and helping design, provide feedback, and do stuff. Never with Sony San Diego Studios, because I don't know why. They should. Like, we can give them a lot of advice. And there was advice that we gave in the past. When the Immortal grind happened, I believe it was MLB 18, I said, this is a little too expensive. People told me to shut up. This is a great game. It's better than Madden. Cool. In the past, in MLB 17, when I said, I think we need more content in the game, people said, the content's fine. Shut up. What was that? This is what we were right. Okay. Not always right. I'm not always wrong. But this is what the changes they've made. You should have known it was coming. You should have seen it coming. And hopefully they will be correcting with it as well, because I think they just went too far. Just bring it in a little bit and say, oh, okay, maybe like find the happy point where 80 to 90% of your audience, if you can get 80 to 90% of the people that play this game to agree on something, like just do that, because that's impressive. So that's it, boys. I'm out. Peace.